good doctor?
I used to be. I won an award once from the mayor. Had an expensive frame.
They're all gonna die.
The day I get out of prison, my own brother picks me up in a police car.
It's the Al Travis Show, and we're very happy to have our next guest on. We've known him for years, haven't had him on for a while. That's my bad. He is Dr. Michael Busler. He is a PhD, a doctorate in public safety analyst, economics expert, a professor of finance at Stockton University in New Jersey, featured columnist in all kinds of papers. Doctor, thanks for being here, my friend.
Well, thanks for having me, Al. Always my pleasure to be here.
No, it is ours because I'm not a smart man. I think you know that. We've done enough radio together. But what I don't understand is when Donald Trump, let's go back, whatever it was, 90 days ago, he comes out and he says, I'm going to do this tariffs thing. Mm-hmm. Again, not a smart man. Maybe you do this at your college course. You guys talk tariffs a lot. I don't remember the last time I even thought about a tariff, let alone we're going to tariff the world. Yeah. What do you give in class about tariffs before this happened?
So I'm a free market economist. I don't like any tariff on any product by any country at any time. That's my general view.
Okay. But did you, before Trump came out, did you guys in your college course discuss tariffs? I didn't realize like 192 countries had one on us and we weren't reciprocating.
No, I don't. At the end of the course, there's something called theory of comparative advantage that I teach and shows why tariffs are not a good idea. But other than that, tariffs weren't mentioned. You bring up a good point. The U.S. forever, and I mean decades ago, decided to help every country in the world, and we're only going to charge a 2.5% tariff for goods they want to sell here. On the other hand, they charged 20, 30, 40, 50. Yep. India was charging 100% tariff. So while we were trying to be kind, I think the result was we were buying a lot of stuff from them, money flowing out of the country. They weren't buying very much from us, so not much money flowing into the country. We had a negative balance of trade. I think last year was $850 billion, and that's wealth flowing out of the country, and that's what upset Donald Trump.
If I'm not mistaken, and I could be, you correct me, we really started this thing right after World War II. Right. We really wanted Japan to rebuild itself. Well, I think they're there now, right? I mean, we've got Germany's back, they're back, so then there's probably no reason for it. How is it Donald Trump, in your opinion, sir, was like the first guy to jump on this bad boy? Is this why didn't the last four presidents, Bush included, I'm not just ripping Republicans or Democrats, why is this a Trump deal? Why did he figure it out?
Because none of them were business people. They were all politicians, and they wanted to do the politically correct thing. And Trump came in and said, look, I'm a businessman. People are ripping us off. We just can't continue to have this happen. The main focus, I mean, there's a lot of things involved with the tariff, but the main focus is because all these countries had such high tariffs and quotas and extra regulations, we couldn't sell our goods in any of these markets. So Trump said, that's no good. You want free trade. We have to be able to sell in your markets, just like we allow you to sell in our markets. And that was the thrust of what he wanted to do. And he also wanted to raise revenue.
All right. So we want to go 90 days ago, whatever it was, 120, whatever it's been. And he comes out on TV, and I'm sure you watch him. He had the big poster thingy with all the countries and how they're doing us wrong. And he comes out and says, we're gonna start it. I think he said 25% all of you will start negotiating tomorrow. Yeah. The world was coming to an end that day. Did you call that in your class? I mean, every economist on TV, this is going to kill the stock market. Inflation's going through the roof. This is the end of times.
Yeah, almost every economist except me.
Okay.
I have a lot of faith in President Trump as a negotiator. So what did he want to do? There were two things by placing ridiculously high tariffs. China was over 100% for a while. So what did he want to do? First of all, he wanted to deal from a position of strength. So you need us because you have a lot of your output you're selling to us. You need us. I'm going to put a high tariff. Now you have to come to me and negotiate. Secondly, He didn't want to wait around like politicians do. Well, we'll form a committee and we'll discuss this and we'll bring it in front of that and we'll have town hall meetings and a year goes by and nothing happens. He wanted to fix it immediately. So what do? You create a sense of urgency. And that's what he did. He put ridiculously high tariff proposal and said, look, if you don't change this, this is what's going to happen. It would devastate China's economy, which is already fairly weak, would have collapsed. South Korea, which still hasn't made a deal yet, they would have had a lot of trouble. And all the countries, Taiwan, Japan, they would have had problems because they rely on the US to buy so much of their output. It worked splendidly.
Well, let's just slow our roll here for a second, Doctor.
Yep.
So he does this. China, 100% tariffs. How is it, and I'm ripping Walmart for no particular reason, how is it a store that sells so much China goods, we didn't see inflation go up, that it actually went down? I mean, maybe I'm not understanding how that didn't work.
Okay,
Didn't go that way.
Walmart sells a product, let's say, to keep the number simple, for $10. They probably buy it for $5. Typically in retailing, what they call keystoning, a double. So they probably buy it for $5. You're going to put a big tariff on that $5. Now, if the price goes up too much, Walmart's going to say, look, we're going to have to start to look for some other sources. And meanwhile, China depends on Walmart. So what ended up happening is China absorbed a chunk of that tariff. Walmart said, let's try to get efficient and we'll absorb some of that. By the time it got to the retail end, it had negligible effects. Now, some products went up, and that's true. Some products went up significantly, perhaps, but the overall inflation rate was not impacted significantly. Plus, even if it is impacted, President Trump says, look, I'm going to vastly increase the supply of energy. And when you increase the supply of energy, the price goes down. So I expect energy prices, he was very aggressive. He said, I'm going to try to cut them in half within my first year in office. I don't think he's quite going to get there. But nonetheless, I look around at gasoline, I see prices now under $3 a gallon. I see oils down in the low 60s. And energy accounts for about 7% of the consumer price index. So even if you have a little upward pressure from tariffs, he'll more than offset that by reducing energy prices.
All right. I want a editor's note from you before we go to break. How is it that Trump sees that correlation and no one else did? And again, I say this, that every economist except Dr. Busler, that's why he's on my program, I only get the best here, looked at it and said the stock market will take a dive, and it did for a day and a half or whatever it was. We'll talk about that on the other side. But inflation is going to, they were wrong in every count on this, and you explained it so simply. What are they missing? Is they just an anti-Trump thing?
It's a bias. It's a bias against Trump, and he's doing things that are really very disruptive. And people say, well, you disrupt things, create all this uncertainty. The business community hates uncertainty. You create all this uncertainty, who knows what's going to happen? Inflation's going to go up, the economy go into recession, you'll start World War III. Yeah. And I think they overreacted to this without looking at it objectively. And we'll talk about the stock markets. I know you have to take a break. We'll talk about that, and I'll tell you what I said about that.
This guy is a pro. Go to break for me. I love it. Dr. Busler on the Al Travis Show.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc. Midwest Money Management and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
It's nice to know a guy that knows a guy. Al Travis.
I don't want to show off, but he's Dr. Michael Busler. He is a public policy analyst, economics expert, a professor of finance at Stockton University. One of the only dudes that said, don't worry about this tariff thing, it's going to be okay. And he was correct. Doctor, when it comes to the stock market, though, we did see a very quick sell-off. I think you said it before the break. You know, no one likes uncertainty in the business world. But came right back. I mean, yeah, we've had bigger dips in the world, and it came right back.
So here's what happened with the stock market. And I'm on the investment committee of the university, manages the endowment. It's not nearly as large as these big universities, but we manage it. So right after Trump got elected, people said to me, what do you think about the economy? I said, I'm extremely optimistic about the economy. And my position would be to shift out of some of these fixed income and cash position and put more into equities. And any of my friends that were asking me, I said, look, I would shift into equities. Well, he gets into office, and in the spring, the stock market collapses. Dow went down, whatever it was, 1,000 points or something, went way down. People are calling me up and say, what did you tell me to do? What's happening? And here's what I said to him. I said, look, if I was you, don't look at your portfolio. Don't look at it. Wait until the summertime. Come back and look at it in the summertime. You'll have missed all this heartache you'll get from the fluctuations. And in the summertime, you'll be very pleased with what's happening. And that's exactly what happened. The thing went down. Trump starts signing some deals, and virtually, in fact, all of the deals are now slanted in the favor of the U.S., rather than the deals we had before, which were in favor of everybody except the U.S., and that's why the stock market's doing so well. That's why the economy's doing so well. They announced a couple hours ago, second quarter GDP, and finally get Trump's policies, went up 3%. So the growth rate was 3% for the second quarter. This is working.
So he got a tariff deal done with the EU, European Union. So that's like the second biggest group. Love that. And you see the market go up. I presume if he can land China with a fair deal, would you expect the market to go through the roof?
To go way up. Actually, the European Union is our largest trading partner. We bought about, based on last year's numbers, we bought about $600 billion from them They only bought about 370 from us. So again, that negative balance. But the European Union is larger than China and larger than some of these other countries. Of course, there's
And
27 countries.
what about Canada, our stepsister to the north? We haven't got anything with them yet, but now with the pressure's got to be building on them, right?
Yeah, they don't think Trump is serious. They don't think, they said somebody can't come in and start saying we're going to put tariff on this and we're going to stop this. You can't do that. We're your largest trading, but well, a large trading partner.
Yeah.
You can't do this. They don't think he's serious. He's
I
serious.
would never want to play that game. One last thing, the Fed, when it comes to interest rates, we're tight. Mr. Trump, President Trump, seems very upset that interest rates have not come down. Can you see a reason why not? Stock markets are up. The GDP is going up. Is there any reason that the interest rate on loans has not gone down?
No, and I've been saying this for 6 months. Jerome Powell is the worst Fed chairman we've had since Arthur Burns in the 70s. He's made mistake after mistake very quickly. Gets in 2018, just as the tax cuts are taking effect, he decides to raise interest rates 4 times for no reason. Slows down the growth. He realized that mistake and changed it in 2019. From January 21 till June of 22, he kept interest rates near zero when inflation was skyrocketing. He did nothing. Another mistake. Then he finally raises interest rates. He stops short of what he should have. He should have raised them a little bit more when he gotten rid of the inflation problem, but he didn't. And for whatever reason, inflation's coming down. The economy's growing. He should have stayed the course. He decides to cut interest rates 3 times. The inflation rate spikes. Now we're at a point where the interest rates should have been cut back in May or in June or today. They're going to announce this afternoon. I'm fairly certain they're not going to cut rates. They should cut interest rates now. They're clobbering the housing market, especially young people who are trying to get their first house. You have enough problem with high material prices and labor prices. You have to get the mortgage rates down. He's got to do something, and Trump is right to jawbone to try to get
for those of us who don't know. We know Powell. That's it. Is it a one-man show over there?
No,
is there a board of the Fed that they're all making this mistake, and Powell just takes the heat? How does that Fed work, if you don't mind?
So there's a federal open market committee made up of board governors and I think 5 presidents of Federal Reserve banks, or 12 in the country. They get together and do it. But for the most part, Powell leads this. There are 2 governors that have, within the last 4 or 5 days, have voiced opinions that we should cut interest rates. But Powell has influence really over the entire open market committee. And although they should cut interest rates, I don't think they will. They'll probably wait until September to cut. Meanwhile, the economy could really be growing.
And is that, again, a political play? Why would they not? What does it hurt them to keep it, or help them to keep it high?
He says, Powell says, look, the inflation rate is not down to 2%. We had it down to 2.1. It's fluctuating in the 2.3, 2.5 range. He's afraid, like most economists, that Trump's tariffs will push prices up and have an inflation problem. And he says, let's wait and see what the tariffs do before I cut interest rates to stimulate the economy, because Powell believes that the tariffs will cause inflation. Even though they haven't caused inflation yet, he believes that they will. And that's why he says he's not going to cut rates.
Stump the professor with the last minute. Here's my thing. Trump has been talking now with $100 or so billion that we've taken in with the tariffs. I guess my thought was you just pay down debt. That may be what I would do. But he's also talking, maybe I send it out to the people, give it back to the people, and let them spend it. Which would be a better play, Dr. Busler?
So politically, giving some back to the people is a great idea. Economically, it's not a very good idea. We're still running a huge deficit in the budget, although in June, Trump was able to run a surplus in the budget and eliminate the deficit. But the deficits are going to continue. We have to get that deficit down, balance the budget first. Once that's done, they can start talking about giving dividends. So from an economic standpoint, no. Politically, I think it's a great idea.
All right. Thank you. We are out of time. Dr. Busler, I love having you on. He is the, of course, professor of finance, Stockton University. Thank them for letting you take the time to be here for me, will you? I love having you on this show. Absolutely.
Thank you. I look forward to doing it again.
Oh, we'll get you back. Dr. Busler on the Al Travis Show.
There are many